Accounts payable. In this overview session, we will review the following. What is accounts payable? Accounts payable basic life cycle, map into NetSuite, and a demo. Accounts payable refers to an account within the general ledger that represents a company's obligation to pay off a short-term debt to its creditors or suppliers. Accounts payable is represented on the company's balance sheet under the current liabilities section, and vendor bills are typically paid within 30 days. Here is a high-level view and flow of an ERP system. Accounts payable falls in the procure-to-pay functional flow. Accounts payable basic lifecycle in NetSuite entails the following flow. First, create your vendors. For your vendors, you can enter vendor bills, then process payments. You can print checks or process payments electronically by uploading payment files to your bank or via integration. Vendor credits recorded can be applied to vendor bills to reduce the payment amount. When vendor bills are processed, NetSuite debits the expense account and credits accounts payable. When vendor credits are processed, NetSuite debits accounts payable and credits the expense account. When payments are processed, NetSuite debits accounts payable and credits cash. Let's see how NetSuite is configured. There are a couple of setup items to call out. Optionally, you can create vendor categories to group your vendors. Create payment terms for your vendors. Create vendors. In NetSuite, you can identify vendors as either company type or individual type. For each vendor, you can default the payment term, default expense account, and default accounts payable account to streamline data entry. Optionally, you can set up multiple addresses. Here are some screenshots of a vendor bill and a vendor credit. Here are screenshots of the print checks and bill payments tasks. Let's jump into a NetSuite demo account to see how it works. I'm logged into NetSuite as the accounts payable analyst. Let's go ahead and create a new vendor. Enter the company name, an email address, select the default payment term for the vendor, default expense account for this vendor, and also default payables account. Oops. Click on the address tab and enter the vendor's address. Click on save. All right, so a new vendor was created. Let's create a vendor bill for this new vendor. Select a new vendor, enter an invoice number. Note that the default payables account was defaulted in from the vendor, and then also the default expense account. Let's enter an amount here and go ahead and click save. Oops. Okay, have some required fields here. And on the vendor bill, let's take a look at the GL impact. Okay, you can see that the GL impact debited my expense account and credited the accounts payable account. All right, for the same vendor, let's create a credit. So I can create a credit if it's related to this bill from here. But let's go ahead and create a separate vendor credit. Right, select the same demo vendor. Okay, enter the required fields. And then enter the credit amount. And let's click on save. Right, take a look at the GL impact. Note that now the expense, because it's a credit, is credited, and then the accounts payable account debited. All right. Let's make a payment to this vendor. So I'm going to go into transactions, payables, pay bills. Right, and let me go ahead and select my demo vendor. All right, so you see that there's the bill and the credit. I'm going to go ahead and select both and then record the payment. I won't be printing the check, but I will be recording the payment only. Right, so you see that the bill is there and also the credit was applied. Let's take a look at GL impact. It's crediting the cash account and then debiting the accounts payable account. Right, that was a quick basic NetSuite demo for the accounts payable.